Carol Smith is one of Ohio's pioneers for women's basketball. Carol fell in love with the game when her fifth grade phys ed teacher simply handed her a basketball. She played at Miamisburg High School when each team had 3 offensive players at one end and 3 defensive players at the other end of the court. She once scored 44 points in a game, and her team lost. I'm sure she was looking down the other end thinking, what are you guys doing down there? 44 doesn't do it? She would practice shooting outside her high school in the snow with the floodlights on. She played basketball at Otterbein, and after graduation in 1969, she took a teaching job at Walnut Ridge High School here in Columbus and started a girls' basketball program. In the first year, she was permitted to schedule 4 games and hold practices at a junior high school nearby. Meanwhile, she played AAU basketball for 12 years and was invited to try out for the 1976 U.S. Olympic team, the first year there was women's basketball introduced in the games. In 1971, when the Walnut Ridge High School boys team won the state tournament, Smith personally practiced against them to give them some better competition. In 1977, she guided the Walnut Ridge girls to the state final in the second ever girls' state basketball tournament. She coached at Walnut Ridge for 11 years before stepping down to raise her 2 children. Meantime, she established the Ohio Girls North-South All-Star Game, which she ran for 9 years, and also coached the first ever Girls Ohio-Michigan All-Star Game. She has served on many committees to further girls' sports and basketball in Ohio. So Carol Smith, for all you have done for women's sports in Ohio, we welcome you into the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame.
Well, first of all, I'm in awe for being here and being amongst so many great people. Mr. Robinson sitting over here, one of my first idols. My parents took me to Cincinnati to watch the Royals play. And I said, that guy could really shoot. But I stand up here and I'm thinking, I didn't win 600 games. If I had a double-double, nobody knew about it. And I didn't play in the NBA, so how am I going to be inducted into the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame? Well, if you can't be a player that gets the stats and gets the recognition, I guess what I can do is help girls' sports and girls' basketball. So I had a great honor to go to Walnut Ridge High School. I always wanted to be a coach. As Jeff said, I wanted to be a coach since I was coaching a player since I was in the 5th grade. The first time my teacher handed me a basketball, I fell in love with the game. And I've had a lot of people come on this journey with me, a journey that I feel very blessed and very privileged to be with. I'd like to thank Doc, Sheila, Don, and Mary Jo Huseman, who I know are all very influential in this organization. And I hope all of us do everything we can to help them further this great cause and this great organization. So many great people that are recognized here tonight, I feel in awe. Also being called a pioneer, I thought perhaps I should bring my Conestoga wagon, but I didn't bring that. I'm just here myself. I do want to thank a few people along my journey, because basketball and anything that's worthwhile, the journey, you do not travel by yourself. You have many great people with you. When I first decided to do the All-Star Game, my thinking was to put the Girls and the Boys Coaches Associations together. I noticed the Boys Coaches Association was so strong, and they were very much into with the Ohio High School Athletic Association. So I got together with a few of my friends and I said, I'd like to start an All-Star Game. Being on many of the committees with the Ohio High School Basketball Coaches Association, I knew that the All-Star Game was their big thing, and if we didn't present them with one, it'd be very difficult for us to join in with their organization. So in the early 80s, and because I had some great players at Walnut Ridge High School that didn't get a chance to really show off their talents, and Lynn Callender's in the audience tonight. She's one of those great players. We wanted to start the All-Star Game. To get it started, join the Men's Coaches Association, and it worked. And 9 years later, for me, it was a great privilege and a great thrill to run that game. Also, Dr. Day at Otterbein College, and Otterbein was my alma mater. And as I played there and I coached there, or I played there, I didn't coach there. Many of the people at Otterbein supported me in the All-Star Game, and the many great players and the great coaches who gave of their time and their efforts, because we didn't pay them at that time to do the All-Star Game. They graciously came in and gave of their time and talents, and I believe they all had fun doing so. I hope so anyway. I'd like to thank all the people who came here to support me this evening. I have a couple tables of friends and family. They're very special and very important to me and inspired me throughout my life and my career. I also would like to thank and recognize Dee Billhart from the Ohio High School Athletic Association. She was a great, great pioneer in girls' sports, in all girls' sports, and helped us develop many, many programs. The girls that are having the privilege to play in some of the sport teams in the tournaments today because of Dee Billhart. I'd like to thank Jackie Moore and Ralph Webster at Walnut Ridge High School, who allowed me the support and the time and the initiative to start all the programs at Walnut Ridge High School. Also, I'd like to thank my son, who, if you've noticed my ad in the program, he designed and produced that. And he also helped me a great deal getting all the uniforms together for the All-Star game. And he was a cute little redhead, and all the girls loved him. And my daughter for allowing me to coach her, yeah, he still is cute. My daughter for allowing me to coach her the 6 years I coached her, through the 2nd through the 8th grade year, and all the great players I had in all those years. It was a thrill coaching my daughter. My son comes up to me, his 8th grade tryout, and he says, "Mom, teach me a jump shot." And I said, okay. So he went out that afternoon, and I taught him a jump shot. He's 6'6" now. He did not play basketball in high school, even though Pickerington tried to recruit him. But both of my children played volleyball in high school. I'm a basketball coach, so what's that tell you? I have my 2 grandsons here this evening. I'm very proud of them. And it's a great thrill to watch them play their sports and come up to Grandma and tell me what they've done and how they've succeeded. And of course, the first thing I ask them when they come in is, did you have fun? And many times this era of basketball and of girls' sports, we forgot to have fun. So as you coaches go back home, remember to tell your players to be sure that they have fun. Also, I would like to thank my partner and my bride of 2 weeks, Carol Hoffman. She's been my supporter for the last 29 years. I thank you so much for all your love and support. Thank you for this great honor. I'm very privileged. And I have one little quote from Mark Twain that kind of summarizes my basketball journey. Mark Twain once said, "There are 2 most important days in your life. The first being the day you're born, the second being the day you find out the reason why." And of course, I have the first to thank my mother, and the second for all those of you who helped me on this journey. I salute you, I thank you, and I thank you for this great award.